Subscribe to YOLO and get all our weekend racing coverage with more races covered on our website at yolo.co.uk. Remember that every race of the Cheltenham Festival will be covered on this channel, and check in on Spotify for the YOLO Weekender podcast, covering in-depth analysis of the big races coming your way. It's an early start on Sunday as we check into Hong Kong for the 2 Group 1s at Sha Tin, but more of that later. Later on, there's a cracking card at Nice where the highly rated pair of K-Lix, Delabarriere, and Blood Destiny line up for Willie Mullins as he fine-tunes his team for Cheltenham. There's sure to be plenty of money going down on K-Lix Delabarriere for the maiden hurdle. Although he couldn't lay a finger on Ballyboe here the last day, that was a deep field with a Dream to Share also in the lineup, but this drop back in trip should be in the selection's favor. For the Newlands Chase, this should, in theory, be a pretty straightforward assignment for Willie Mullins' Blood Destiny. He has some solid novice form in the book from last season and will be looking to get a ticket for one of the big handicaps at Cheltenham next month with a win here. That said, nothing's taken for granted in horse racing, so 5-time course winner Espinito Bello might stop it all being plain sailing for the Jolly, Blood Destiny to score at pretty skinny odds. Gordon Elliott is another getting his string to peak just when it matters, so Spinning a Yarn and Shannon Royale are worth a second look in the bumper and the novice handicap chase. Sunday's nap is Joystick, lining up in the first of the Grade 3s on Nace's Sunday card for Willie Mullins. Although there's been plenty of support for Andrew Slattery's Fleur in the Park this week, conditions aren't ideal over this trip after he failed to see out 2 miles 7 at Limerick, so on this heavy-going Joystick should have his measure. Gordon Elliott's Jacob's Ladder can't be ruled out either, so it's a cracking lineup for this Grade 3, with Joystick getting the vote. Our next best is Good to Be Alive, going to post in the Grade 3 Juvenile Hurdle on Nace's card. Sam Ewing is back in the saddle on Good to Be Alive, who created quite an impression when scoring at Ferryhouse the last day. He looks a decent recruit to the Bective stud string, who have quite a few good ones this season, and can serve it up to anti-post favorite Bacchanalian, who, to be fair, did win over course and distance 2 weeks back, and holds an entry for the Triumph Hurdle at Cheltenham next month. Joseph O'Brien's Shoda acquitted herself well on her hurdling bow, so she completes the shortlist, but Good to Be Alive looks the one. Early on Sunday morning, the undoubted star of the sprint scene in Hong Kong, Ka Ying Rising, is going to line up a huge odds-on favorite for the Group 1 Queen's Silver Jubilee Cup. However, David Hayes' Superstar takes on this intermediate 7-furlong trip for the first time, though the way he's been going away from all before him to close his races this season suggests that's only a minor concern. That said, this extra furlong can play into the hands of the progressive and fast-finishing How Deep Is Your Love, who does make his move late. With California Spangle not looking the force of old this year, Johnny Size's Helios Express is the one that could upset the party. Ka Ying Rising to make it a hat trick of Group 1s with Helios Express and How Deep Is Your Love to battle out second place, and Exotic looks tempting. The second of the Group 1s, the Hong Kong Gold Cup, can go to Voyage Bubble. With Romantic Warrior away this weekend chasing the big prize in Saudi Arabia, Voyage Bubble can reap the rewards and score at 10 furlongs again. Taking the Hong Kong Derby in 2023 showed he's capable of winning over this trip at the highest level, and it's just the rub of the draw that he coexists in Romantic Warrior's generation. That said, he's been the one to make Romantic Warrior work for his money, and Voyage Bubble's ability to cruise at high speed, to run the finish out of the field, can allow him to dominate here from the inside draw. Galaxy Patch is the obvious danger and probably hasn't reached his peak yet, but it's Voyage Bubble to take Group 1 glory at Sha Tin.